shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
Before I came here or when I was at Kopila, I had never read books or known about this great man who have changed many things in the United States, and I'm very inspired by his work because we know that caste discrimination and also color discrimination is not good for all the people, and he was a really great peace fighter, and I'm also very inspired because one of our volunteer Terry also got to march with him, and she should feel very lucky to know him from her small age, and I'm also very glad and inspired by his life. Thank you.
One of the reasons he was given the Nobel Peace Prize, because he was able to unify people who came from many different backgrounds and said, we have to stand together if we are going to make important changes. And that's why he was recognized both in terms of unifying people, but also he would not allow any violence. And so he like Mahatma Gandhi, was a nonviolent leader. So nonviolence was very much a part of any demonstrations. You saw that in the footage, how people would just stand and let those, terrible policemen just, spray them down. But there was no fighting. There was no, guns. There was no destroying of property. And so he really believed that the only way that they were going to make changes and be accepted by others was to use nonviolent demonstration.
I have a dream that the discrimination which is taking place in our country in the name of caste, color, creed, etc. should be avoided as soon as possible. And for this, the young teenagers should be involved in this process. I have a dream that I would be able to find a good job that I can hold my family income. My family is very poor. I wanted to be a rich people in the future, not only rich by wealth, but also rich by spirit. I wanted to suggest that the problem which is running in our country would be solved as soon as possible. The border dispute will be solved as soon as possible, and I have a dream that the poor, underprivileged and backward people will also get the services and facilities as ours as much as possible.
So I want to go out there and show women that they can do whatever they want, and from going out there and dancing hip hop and showing that girls are capable of doing anything, and I think that's my dream. Okay.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
As a young child who had parents who were in the civil rights movement, they were teachers, and they taught us regarding the importance of changing the discriminatory policies that were all throughout the United States when I was growing up in the 1950s and 60s. My parents knew Martin Luther King, and I was very lucky when I was 18 to march with him in the city of Chicago. And in 1968, when he was assassinated, it was one of my most sad days in my life, because he was a man that I respected very, very much. And I know that he cared about many people who were poor, who were at war, who were of minority status, and he's done an incredible demonstrations and an example of how you make change and do it in a peaceful way. And I felt very fortunate today. We came here thinking that we were going to be able to connect on our special celebratory event that the American Embassy was responsible for helping put on. But because our internet connection wasn't good today, we had the opportunity to learn more about Martin Luther King, and I learned a lot more about Nepali young teenagers and young adults who I think will make a big, big difference in very positive ways in their country, especially to help people who are discriminated against as well as people who are poor. So it turned out to be a wonderful day. Thank you all.
We shall overcome. We shall